Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our finals recap. Game 7. This series went the distance. We got Cardo Dudley Jr. here and Wilson Tarpe Jr. Now, dominant third quarter, man. We've been seeing this the past few games outside of the last one because Indiana had full control of that game 6. But prior to that, Oklahoma City had been there. They just took their defense and moved that big heavy switch all the way up in the third quarters of a couple games, and that was the end of it. And it happened tonight once again where OKC did it. I mean, Indiana did an outstanding job not having an emotional letdown after losing Halliburton, who got off to a quick start in this game at that. They did a great job. They were leading at the half, but hey, man, that defense did what we've seen it do several times this series, and they won that quarter 34-20. It didn't feel like it was that close when we were watching it. It was just turnover after turnover after turnover after turnover. But Cardell, I want to get your thoughts as OKC have been crowned champions for the very first time in their franchise history. And they finished 68 wins this year.
Well deserved. Can't knock it. They were the best team all season. And, they weathered the storm. And, people could say, it could have been different if Halliburton didn't go out, maybe. But that second half, they play OKC basketball. They really clamped down on the key guys, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think people understand how anemic the starters outside of Halliburton, because he went out, were for the Pacers. Pascal Siakam, 5 of 13. Aaron Nesmith, 1 of 5, fouled out, 3 points. Miles Turner, 2 of 4. Andrew Nembhard, 4 of 10. He was trying to get something going. If it wasn't for Mathurin and McConnell, the nights that they had, this would have really been ugly. And it was the oldest trick in the book, man. Hey, somebody else going to have to beat us because y'all not doing it. You saw Obi Toppin walking off the court, crying. Nightmare game in the game 7. Didn't give him nothing. In 20 minutes. These are the type of games that's either going to haunt you or you going to celebrate it. I understand, man. And respect to the Pacers, man, because when Halliburton went down, that could have just killed their spirit, and then OKC could have got the game over in the first half. But they literally pushed them boys to the very end. But turnovers, man. Turnovers kill, man. And that third quarter was just something different, man. They went a piranha mode on them, 8 turnovers for Indiana. They scored 18 points off those 8 turnovers. OKC, 0 turnovers. 50% from the field, 38% from deep. They just really claimed that. And the wild part is, in that quarter, the Pacers still shot 47%. If they just took care of the ball, it's a different ball game. But that quarter is what really did them in, man. And the fourth quarter, as the game went along, they just ran out of gas, man. I know Mathurin tried to put it on his shoulders. He in that quarter, he got to the free throw line a lot, made all 10. Had 16, but he was the only one that they even got close to double figures. The only other Pacers that scored in the fourth was Andrew and Pascal. Pascal had 3. Nembhard had 4, and that was all she wrote, man. Kudos to them. Hell of a season, man. But what I'm happy about is a defensive-minded, defensive-led team won the championship. And for the last 10 plus 15, whatever years, we've been told defense is not that important. It's the offense wins championships, all that BS. And it's like, that's not true. You got to get stops, especially when you get to this stage. The other team is good. The Pacers push them boys still without their best player, Halliburton. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be able to do it on both ends. But the defensive end start, because this defensive end is the one part of the game that you can always be consistent at. Shots aren't going to always fall. Defense is something you can bring game in and game out, man. And they hung their hats on that, and we talked about it when they played the Wizards. Like, nah, this is something different. This defense different, and this is the first year I can say in a long time where they made watching a team be defensive focused fun. It reminds me like the '90s Bulls, how they made defense fun. It made you want to just run around and like Scotty and Mike and all them, Robin and Horace Grant and all them, and just get stops and just frustrate the other team. And you just destroy them. You take their spirit from that end. Then the offensive end is just easy. It's like, let's just have fun over there and put the ball in the bucket and get them up out of here. That's what you saw. SGA, what can you say, man? Validated why he's the MVP. Definitely the finals MVP easily. Even when the Pacers had the lead, they was rumbling in the first half. My boy was getting in there. He was alone. He had to wait for his teammates to wake up, but nah, he came to play, man. He was 16-7 and 4 in the first half. Them some big time numbers for a half, man. He was getting it done, man. So he just needed other people to kind of join the party, and they did in the second half. And then it was just, making the right reads and getting it done, man. And prayers up to Tyrese Halliburton, man. Seriously, I hate seeing players getting injured. Dealt with them myself. It's just, especially at this stage, you want everybody at full strength to really see who could have pulled it out, man. But my respect for him, well, it was there before then. It's through the roof. I know we're gonna talk about it later after you get your announcement. But definitely praise up to him and respect to him, man. Should nobody question that boy ever again. And if you do, you just be an asshole. Because all the people that say he was overrated and all that, hopefully them names get released. Because at the end of the day, he got more heart than all of them combined. Because I doubt any of them people would have put it on the line like he did, man. But we're going to talk about it later. But yeah, great win for OKC. Much respect. Like I said, start to finish, they were the best team in the league. And it's well-deserved. And it shows that defense and depth has returned instead of a bunch of names just getting together thinking they can put it together to win a championship. That's not supposed to be. It takes a lot to build a team. It takes a lot to build chemistry. It takes a lot of work. It's a lot put into it to build a championship team and core. And this is the way you're supposed to do it. And it shows. Obviously, Sam Presti was a genius because he had one kind of knocking on the door with KD, Russ, and Harden and them guys before, and then he just recouped and did it again, man. And got 1,000 picks to ensure the future, man. So, hey, man, hell of a job by the organization, and all you can do is just tip your hat to him.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things for Presti, it looked like he learned from the last time they went to the finals because depth was not an issue this time. Deep as hell. That first time, they were lacking some depth. I know folks only talk about, the top end guys and what was going through it, but Miami was a very deep team. They were loaded and deep for people to have revisionist history of what that Miami team looked like. At that point, the greatest shooter of all time was coming off their bench. You had Shane Battier over there. Like, you just had guys who have done things before coming off that bench over there. And OKC was young, wide-eyed, and they didn't have depth. They were relying on the kids who haven't been here to do it all. This time, we saw that you got Caruso coming off the bench, and we saw as this series went on, Caruso became more and more impactful each and every game. In this one, it's not going to look super crazy. See the 10 points, it's 4-10. That third quarter, everywhere. I thought Cason Wallace was huge in this game. He had his moments trying to find his sea legs in this series, and he was huge tonight. 10 points, 3 steals. You can talk about the Piranha defense. That was all hands on deck, making that happen. We saw Chet tonight, 18, 8, and 5 blocks. J-Dub didn't shoot it well, but every member of their starting lineup had a steal. You had 2 dudes off the bench with 3 apiece. They came at folks in waves, and they wore folks down all season long with their defense, man. And to do that, you got to give Presti credit for what he built. and what they're going to be able to sustain and how the flexibility they have going forward, as you mentioned. For Indiana, hey man, it's just tough. Credit to Haliburton for coming out there, and it's the craziest part is, which obviously we'll never know because he did get hurt. He got off to a really good start in this game. Looked like this was going to be really a really fun Game 7. And again, kudos to the Pacers for not bowing out after that happened. They pushed him until they just couldn't do anything more. TJ McConnell in this series, some people have been a little extra with the praise, but he's been huge. Depth, again, you talk about depth. That's what we learned throughout this playoff. That's why these two teams are here. Depth is important. Folks kind of overvalue guards that know how to run a team. Indiana gets blown out if they don't have two other point guards in this game. They understand when I need to push and when I don't. It was a good finals, man. It was a great finals. Obviously, would have loved for everyone to be healthy to see how this ended, but it takes nothing away from OKC. To be the best team in the league from start to finish, hey man, that level of consistency is crazy, should be praised. And that defense, now it officially gets to go down in history for what they did, what they accomplished this year, for sure. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to this game before we get to play the game, X Factor, things of that nature? You on mute.
All the people talking about Tyrese Haliburton, he was silly to put it on the line and stuff like that. This is why we got to get back to having people stay in their damn lanes. And I mean that if you take it as disrespect, I don't care. Like, if you've never played a sport before, like at a really high level, and when I mean at a high level where it requires daily work, multiple times a day of work, to be ready to play at that level, you need to just stay out of this because you don't know what it's like to physically put it all on the line. Because if you have a calf strain, you will go to the doctor and get whatever treatment, whatever, and you probably be bedridden for a while. Or they will put some type of something on you, or something wrap or something on you where you have to navigate life like that. And you shut all physical activity down. But when it's somebody like, say, Tyrese Haliburton in his position, when you put so much work in for years and you're at the brink of accomplishing something that there is no guarantee you will ever be in position to do ever again, how the hell can you fault him for putting it on the line? Because guess what? He put it on the line in Game 6. Did people forget that? It just didn't pop. His Achilles didn't pop down. What if he didn't put it on the line? Series probably would have been wrapped up in Game 6 because the OKC came out and jumped on him. Then Haliburton hit a few shots, and then the team got behind him at home. See what I'm saying? They came out flat. Without Haliburton, and obviously that's why I say he had to try to see if he can play, because that will motivate his teammates like, dog, I can't let a dude on one leg outplay me. That's going to make, especially at the crib, that's going to make you fire you up to get you to play. That's what extended the game to making it a Game 7 today, to which OKC first got. See, now it's unfortunate he went down. Now he can move on with no regrets. Had he sat, especially if he never got back to the finals ever again in his career, dog, that's going to always be in his mind like, dog, I should have just put it on. I put it on the line. I get some people like, man, you don't play with no calves and stuff like that. Man, look, man, we can't have it both ways. When they don't do it, they soft. When they do it, you shouldn't have did it. Oh, man, the resources and technology and health benefits today is the best we ever seen. But then you worried about him coming back and being in the same place. Like, you can't have it both ways. I think people love to be hindsight experts and just talk. Just talk to hear themselves talk. Don't even make no damn sense, man. Like, that man put it all on the line, dog, and all you could do is respect that man. And I feel like more athletes should take note of that, because, like, you got a small window to be a professional athlete, man. It's very small. It goes by quick. Like, it really does, man. I just don't understand the criticism for this dude, man. And it wasn't something, I don't think he cared about people questioning his toughness and stuff, which was really ignorant because there was no reason to question his toughness in the first place. Nobody ever said he was soft. that's just some ignorant shit that people just start. You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially from his peers who said he was overrated. That's just some ignorant shit. And I'm glad he blocked that all out. And especially the dumbass people saying he wasn't a superstar. If he's not a superstar now, what the fuck is it? But again, it goes back to my original point. It's the people who never been in a position to even put it on the line. They got the most to say about those putting it on the line. At some point, you just gotta. People need to go back to talking about and staying in their lanes and talking about what they know. If you never been in that position where you heard hurt and you the one that got put it on, like, cause see, as much as look, the thing about Tyrese, cause see, I've been there. It's your decision to make, because when you're in the therapy room and you going through all that rehab and stuff, it's gonna be you by yourself, nobody else there, and those gonna be the hardest days. So if he can live with it, who the fuck else is anybody else to question his decision, man? That's my whole point, man. I'm just sick and tired of people just looking for anything to complain about, question, and just criticize, man. Man, dog, that man deserves he's a legend now in Indiana. Like he's good. It's almost like he won a championship doing that. It's the same with Aaron Gordon, what he did in Denver early in the playoffs and stuff. Jason Tatum. I mean, unfortunately, that he had like an ankle injury, then it popped, unfortunately, and stuff like that. KD with the Warriors and stuff, he put it on the line, try to come back and stuff like that, bro. Come on, man. You can't question them brothers like the people that put it on the line like that, man. You don't. You just they earned the utmost respect, man. And all the BS that they heard that was thrown at him from peers and some idiots in the media, now they look dumb as hell. Now they look dumb as hell. So I'm like, come on, bro. Like, nah, man. Like he did the right thing. He put it all online, and it's a shame some of his teammates couldn't step up to the plate in the game 7. And even in the game 7 on one leg before it popped, man, he was hooping, man. He was on one, bro. And them boys on their heels, man. That's a bad boy. That is a bad man. Go ahead, man.
You good? I was just saying, it's very reminiscent. You brought up the KD with the words. Someone tweeted it. I didn't realize it, but like they got off to the same start. They both started that game 3-5. In both situations, they both had the opposing team shook. They both had the opposing team shook in both situations. All of Canada was like, "Oh no!"
Yes.
Yes. Let's remember this.
Yes.
Like that. Those 3 shots. Love, who was on Toronto and everything. Those 3 shots were all just a nice reminder of, yeah, I'm back. And it got scary for a second.
And he started getting in the KD mode. Then they like too much, bro. Too much.
And look what happened for Haliburton. You talked about game 6, right? He knew he had to come in the lead so everybody get behind him. And he came out front foot aggressive as hell in this one. Which, was something we talked about during the playoffs at times. Like, hey, you need to come out aggressive. He understood the assignment. It's game 7. History's on the line for you. Like you talked about, you might not get back. Everything on the line. 3 or 4 from 3. He came out bombing the Thunder. You just have to give him respect. I know we talked about show last week, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that have to come back. They're the ones that have to come back from that dark place, from the injury. And if they're fine with it, you respect, and that's it. We can think whatever we want to think. We can have opinions, but if they decided to do it, hey, man, you wish them a speedy recovery, tip your cap to them, and you keep it moving. That's it. But also, yeah, he's a legend in Indiana, bro. There's nothing like this.
And he's a superstar, and he's Indiana's best player. Cut the crap. Cut the crap, man. I don't know what it is, man. And it seems like it's always the light-skinned brothers they want to target, bro. It's wild. It's some ignorant shit with this, man.
Recently, yeah, it's been crazy.
A few years ago, Giannis, he ain't that good. He just dunks on people and all that. Then he had the 50-point game in finals and win his chip. Come on, man. It's always some ignorance. And it's like, man, what do y'all doing? Look, cool. If he's that, why can't y'all bust his ass? Why is he in the finals?
Why didn't they get swept then if he's not a superstar?
That's all I'm saying.
Like, why aren't the Knicks here if he's not a superstar?
Why he got them boys on it? Why he got the best defensive team we've seen in decades on their heels on one leg? And the other thing that people don't talk about enough for him is he understands how to control the game just as good, if not as good as Shea. And that's the thing that had him on their heels, man, because he knew how to yo, the first read ain't there. Nah, let me keep my handle. Second read ain't there. He's stressing the hell out that defense. That's why it went to a game 7. He figured them out as well. It's just that he was on one bad wheel. And then with him stressing them out, it got him open shots. Okay, let me play my game. Now I'm going to be aggressive to get score early, to get things open. That's what happened in game 6. That's why they blew him out. It's not rocket science, man. So what are we doing here, man? Why can't people just acknowledge what's going on and give people proper respect? Instead of all this other stuff, man. Look, unfortunately, injuries is a part of sports, man. You stressing your body in a variety of ways. They done played over 100-some games, man. And he done been in some physical battles before he even got to the finals. Lord knows that damn Knicks series was crazy. But come on now. Like, we got to cut this crap out. It's an unfortunate part of the game. He's going to miss a big chunk of next year, not all of next year. But if I'm him, I don't have no damn regrets. Now he know it just wasn't meant to be. Whereas moving forward and back in his mind, like I said, especially you don't get back, damn, man. I wonder what happened if I'd have played.
And that would have haunted him forever, wondering. Now it's just it's almost, I won't say it helps because obviously coming from injuries, it's hell. But at least you know if you get back there what it takes because you did play. You left it out there. You know what I'm saying? So again, if it takes a year, also, this is the other side of people with the technology thing. That also means since multiple people have gone through it, there's examples, there's compare, contrast, you can contrast different ways. People come back. Everybody's body is different, obviously, but everybody's game is also different. So different injuries affect people different ways. We'll see how.
It's not predicated off of super athleticism.
Thank you.
His game is off of reads, poise, and stuff like that. So his game is more of a floor game instead of playing in the air. Like, even back in the day, I remember Dominique blew out his. And he came back, he was still double clutching in his late 30s on cats in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, even though he's a super athlete, but you know, you get my point, man. It's like, dog, he's going to be fine. If you do everything he's going to do, and which I have no doubt he will, he's going to be fine. Now he can make peace with this and start building. Because think about it, OKC never won a shit before, right? It took them a while to have to figure out what we need to do to win, man. It's a process, man. That shit's hard. It's hard to win, man. That's why all these people talking about championships don't matter. It doesn't separate great players. It doesn't take away from great players. If you played at a high level over a long period of time, you're a great player. But with all due respect, you're not on the level of another great player who got it done. Because that's somebody who had to figure it out how to beat other great players and other great teams to make that happen, man. And that's just the reality of it. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. So you can't discredit or try to water down winning, man. That's what you play the game for. From the very beginning of you playing basketball, you a little kid. Let's play one-on-one, and whoever wins, they're better right now. Just that pure essence, like that. So how are you gonna say on the highest level of the game, the team that wins the championship, I mean, it's cool, but doesn't mean they necessarily so much. No, it means they're better until you beat them. So I just don't get that, man. But, look, the Pacers have nothing to hang their heads. Even when Halliburton went down, they stood back. Like, them boys, all those boys over there deserve respect. Rick Carlisle, dog. I mean, dog, come on, man. Like, respect all around. You know what I'm saying? But OKC did what they should have done. Best player go down. Let's get these boys up out here. And like I said, they not only had to hold off a feisty Pacers team, they had to dig deep within themselves and try to figure out what we need to do to win and put these boys away. And you could see them trying to do it in the first half with offense, and then they got back to their identity after halftime, and then that was it. And that gave them the cushion that they needed.
And one of the things you brought up, which this is why Halliburton's absence was so big, was he kept the live dribble throughout all of OKC's pressure. They want you to pick it up because once you pick it up, it's attack. It's sharks in the water. Once you pick it up, all the bad stuff happens. And that's what happened to TJ at times in that third quarter. Obviously he's a smaller player, but he picked up his dribble a little too early sometimes. Bro, they're not letting you. You are not getting a clean window to pass that ball. As soon as you pick it up, it's over. But again, for y'all, he's not a superstar or whatever. He had that defense stressed out because the pressure didn't bother him enough to where he had to pick up his dribble. So they're ready to jump you, but if you don't pick it up, they got to stay honest to a degree.
And TJ is a smaller point guard, 6'1", 6'2". When you're smaller, you gotta have incredible vision to make those reads, man. But like I said, them boys like piranhas. They came out, they in the passing lanes, they denying, they harassing them. Tyrese a little bit bigger, 6'4", 6'5", so he can get away. We can see over it. Nembhard around the same height as well, man. So it's just the little details, man. And to be thrown into that place in a game 7 on the road, it's tough, man. Like for people, basically in college, in a sense, when you get to the conference tournament, NCAA tournament, you're playing a bunch of game 7s. So you get an idea of what it feels like do or die. Like, damn, we got to do it now or this or tomorrow, unless you just won a bunch of games, you're in the tournament, you're going to receive that large bid, but you don't even want to risk that. You're like, man, we got to win. So you get an idea what that pressure is like, and it's no joke. Like, it's no joke, man. You feel the intensity where it's like, damn, man, every play matters. Like, damn, I just turned the ball over. This could be the difference in the game. You see what I'm saying? And you aware of that, but you just got to put it on your mind, and then you're on the road. Like, I don't even think the OKC fans sat down the whole game. It looked like they were standing the entire game, bro.
It didn't look like it or it sounded like it. And again, TJ's been amazing, but again, talking about the height and how crazy their defense is, those 7 turnovers, and it wasn't just him, but those turnovers, third quarter.
Yeah, bro.
That was literally game set match right there.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the separation didn't occur until then.
And man, look, them 2 leaders of the Piranha attack, Caruso and Lou Dort. Man, look here, man. For all y'all youngins coming up with NBA goals, and y'all don't take the weight room serious, okay. Lou Dort? Oh, no, that 225 listed weight, no. He about 245, 250. But he moves like he's 6 feet, 185. Like you saw, they did a slowdown with Ben Mathurin, drove into the lane. He just walled up. And Ben Mathurin about 6'6", 2-something, 220. He hit Lou Dort in the air, and he went back. And all Lou Dort did was just wall up. Imagine trying to dribble around that, man.
Imagine when you get him off you with a screen, it's replaced by Alex Caruso.
And then if America happens, you get by them. You got Hartenstein and Shet and all them boys waiting on you to try to swat. And then they piranhas, they not gonna just stop and let you get by. They coming from behind, swinging from behind, and you dog. Defense win championship. If you don't, that's it. I think this is the best statistical team defensively since the Bulls, from what I read earlier. Since the Dynasty Bulls.
That's crazy.
Speaks volumes, man.
It really, really does. Go ahead.
And also, if I'm looking, damn, yeah. Shai Gill just had a good first half, but the man was 8 for 27 from the field. He ain't shoot the ball well. He was 2 of 12 from deep. He didn't shoot the ball well, so they shot 40% as a team from the field. What you think won them this game? Their defense literally won this game, man. The Pacers shot better from the field than them. Shot better from 3. OKC shot 27% from deep. They didn't even shoot good from the line. They were 22-31 for 71%. Their defense literally won this game for them with Halliburton out. Come on, man. We got to stop this BS, man. Like, call it. The game is the game. Nothing. The game don't change. Dudes are just taught different. And now they know how to win now, and they locked in, and then you got these picking dog. Yeah.
Like people gonna have to build the right way to match up with them.
It's a superstar thing that's dead. That's dead from right now, unless you just get some like the Heat. If you get 3 dudes in a prime like that,
and it gotta be in a prime, dude. It gotta be in a prime. Also, the depth. I know people again keep ignoring that. The depth.
And he had depth back then.
The depth. I will keep screaming at the depth. Did they maximize the window? That's another story for another day. I don't care. It's none of my business. The depth. The teams were built correctly.
And that's hard. That's gonna be hard to do with the tax havens.
Yep. Which is why they got all the freaking picks over there. So when people price themselves out, next, or you can go trade to get other things.
Yeah. Or even with those picks, you better have a good scouting staff.
Yeah.
Every team don't got that. So you got to be able to identify not just talented players, but the right talent for your organization that can come in and help what you got going on. And every team don't got that. If they did, you want to see teams annually in the lottery year after year after year.
Another thing, if they're right now they're top dog, right? You're not getting them out the way if your team doesn't match their physicality. It's just not going to happen.
If you can't defend, you got to have depth. Like they're literally their entire team could defend. It's not one weak link.
Credit to them for getting this done. Player of the game. You heard it?
Shoot, damn. That is very interesting. It's easy to say Shea, but yeah, I mean, you can't ignore the 12 assists, 5 rebounds and stuff. He ain't shoot the ball well. Play great defense as well because they were trying to get him. They were trying to pick on him. Plus 11. You gotta give it to him. He didn't shoot the ball well, man. He made the plays that were needed. Even when it was facilitating getting the ball to the right people, handling the pressure from the Pacers when they was making their run. That those are winning traits as well. So you gotta give it to him. MVP and Finals MVP, no doubt. SGA.
Yeah, with SGA as well, just for the way that he managed the game. Someone had to control the game. We talked about the Pacers not having the ability to do that with Hallie going down, and he did his job because if they don't control the game with the way that they shot, I don't know what this looks like because the Pacers did have the lead at the half. Obviously, the defense was crazy, but he also did a great job late as the Pacers started to make runs, slowing the game down by getting to the line. Like, those little things matter.
Because the Pacers called the paint. They made him shoot threes. Like, you don't really see OKC putting on 43s, man. That's like Boston type offense. But that tells you wasn't nothing down there, man. They wasn't able to turn the corner at all. I mean, in respect to the Pacers, they was fighting for their life. Like, and it's wild because OKC outscored on 40-20 in the paint, 40-26. So they had success in the paint, man. But yeah, OKC scored 32 points off their turnover. Off the Pacers turned 23 turnovers, man. That's a killer.
That was it right there.
That's
and then making sure you manage those runs, that those runs didn't become extended runs, which they did a good job of. X Factor.
Man, you can go with a lot of you know who showed up, man? Casey Wallace. I'm gonna give it to him. He was 10 points off the bench, 4 for 6. And he had those 3 steals, man.
Yep.
That was the boost. That was changing the game, like ripping them time and time again. Dog. Little things, man. X factors like that, man. He was a spark plug off the bench. Like I expect Alex to do that. He's won before. Lou's been in the league for a while. I expect him to be a ball hawk. Hit a couple threes. That's his role. But when you look at it outside Casey Wallace, you're not sure. You know what I'm saying? He's still fairly young in his career, man. So, yeah, he balled, man. He did his job tonight for sure.
Yeah, and earlier in the series, they're gonna wait for him to join the party because he's been somewhat of a solid contributor for them most of the year because they're so deep. And in Game 7, that's a hell of a time to show up. Like you said, those steals were timely too. Some really big moments when he got those steals. So shout out to him. I know he didn't shoot the ball well this series, but he was really good tonight for them. Really, really good tonight. You had anything else you wanted to add, Cardell?
No, that's it. Congrats to OKC, man.
Congrats to OKC for sure. And then just that quick, we'll turn the page and get to the off season, which is
Be a
crazy.
draft. Yep, it'll be a draft.
Crazy. Y'all have a good evening.